I'm going to talk about why it has always been easier for me to, be friends with a girl than actually being in a relationship with one. Well, for one, I don't have to worry about, not being able to talk to someone again after a breakup because with a friendship, an argument doesn't determine the status of, your friendship and or platonic relationship. And an argument that can kind of like put a strain on a relationship if it's like something serious. And honestly, they're actually much easier to maintain. That's why I prefer being in a platonic relationship with a girl in a way than a romantic one. And just simply because friendships are easier to maintain. This is why I still keep in touch with some really good friends of mine who happen to be girls. And I have a lot of guy friends that I still keep in touch with. Some of them 20 years later. But but with all said and done, I think that you know, it's just that friendships are much easier to maintain with girls, and having a friendship with a girl has never been difficult for me, honestly, because whenever I was friends with a girl, I only wanted to be buddies with them, and I also made it known that I don't want anything more than a friendship. It has to be strictly platonic. And if anything goes beyond that boundary, then we're gonna have to sit down and talk. Um, but I think it's safe to say that when it comes down to it, friendships are much easier to maintain, and it's something beautiful can blossom out of that. Whereas, I don't have to worry about like, not talking to that person again, and things are not going to be the same, and how there might be some tension after a breakup, and because a friendship, like, if that breaks up, then you can kind of things can go back to the way they were after reconciliation. But when it comes to like a breakup, not so much, honestly. And this is why I actually believe that, friendships are easier. And this is why most of the girls that have been in my life have been strictly friends. Because, like, I never was one to go out there and start looking for relationships. And I always spent most of my time hanging out with friends and chatting it up with my friends, mostly in person, not so much over the phone. In retrospect, I can honestly say that I'm actually very glad that none of my friendships have been sexual with girls at all whatsoever. And I can honestly say that I'm glad that I keep in touch with them 12, 15 years later. It's actually a great feeling to be friends with girls, knowing full well that you don't have to worry about complications of things getting sexual or someone develops feelings for one another. Life is just much easier, and I don't want any like tension or some kind of drama or some kind of resentment. Like, oh, my feelings weren't reciprocated back. You know, it's awesome for me. I mean, I can't complain. So life's always been good for me. You know, and that's the bottom line. But yeah, what can I tell you? I mean, have I developed feelings for some girls who are my friends? Yeah, two to three out of the 50 I've been friends with, but other than that, that's about it. But at the state where I'm at now, I mean, I'm happy as usual. I smile a lot, so I'm always keeping myself in good spirits. You know, uh, there's just no need for me to worry about relationships right now. I'm used to being a single guy. In relationships, it's not something. Being in a relationship is not familiar territory to me. So I'm used to being single, and I'm always happy as a single guy. Why? Because life's always been good. I've always been like the happy kid, and I'm a happy adult now. So, so friendships is something I can never complain about. I think having a friendship is much better than not having anything at all. So, I don't see why not. But of course, society expects, like, the guy and girl to end up being together, especially when they spend a lot of time with each other. And it doesn't always have to be like that, because when I'm friends with a girl, I don't want anything more than just friendship. I just want strictly friendship, and that's it. And it's much easier to maintain. I don't have to worry about heartbreak or arguments or drama or who's accusing who of cheating. And relationships are hard work. Friendships are easy. So it has been a breeze for me to maintain that by keeping in touch, sending messages here and there or whatever. And if we could visit, that's cool. My best friend of 12 years, I mean, her and I, we still visit each other. We don't live in the same state anymore. We're living in two different states across the country. But we still keep in touch, and whenever we can, we visit each other. So anyway, thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe if you want, and you can tell me what your experiences were. Thanks a lot. Take care.